I come, sir.
Please come, Vishwa.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please sit down.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Vishwa, please introduce yourself to the panel.
Sir, my name is VISHWA. I am from Patna, Bihar. I've done my basic schooling from Patna itself. Then I went to Mumbai for doing my graduation in nautical science from Indian Maritime University. After that, I worked for a few months on board a chemical tanker in Merchant Navy. Then I resigned it in 2019 to pursue my goal of cracking sales also.
Vishwa, you're from Bihar.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me, this lot of migration happens from Bihar. Now, is migration good or bad for the state's economy, particularly keeping Bihar in mind?
Sir, migration per se is not bad if we see. It depends upon what are the reasons which are leading to migration and how migration is.
Suppose because of unemployment,
Yes, sir.
migration is happening. Now, in that situation, is it good or bad?
Sir, if the migrants are sending remittances to the state, then it's a good thing because it
Let's take the case of Bihar itself.
Yes, sir.
There is a lot of if in your answers.
Yes, sir. Sir, for Bihar, it is not, we say, is a good thing because the youths are moving out of there because of lack of job opportunities, especially in the private sector. So that's why. And it also leading to basically migration in labor, especially that is happening.
So, is Bihar finding wanting to for the labor, that because of labor, Bihar is feeling, some kind of pinch because of the labor migrating?
So recently we witnessed the controversy regarding the clashes. There were misinformation that were happening.
What was that related to?
Sir, it is...
That there was nothing, it was fake news.
Sir, it is perceived that the people from Bihar come and take jobs of the locals. So it leads...
But there was no resistance. It was fake news.
Yes, it was fake news, but we have also witnessed in states like Maharashtra that has happened earlier.
Anyway, but in what manner it is bad?
So it is not bad, but it leads to insecurity in local population that our jobs...
Okay, so the question is of migrant labor as a whole. So should there be a policy at the national level how to treat the migrants? They can come from anywhere.
So the entitlements they have under different schemes should be provided in a coordinated manner. For example, the center is promoting one nation, one card, which
card?
Sir, food grains, National Food Security Act under that. Yes, ration cards. And also social security policies should be there. There should also be focus on promoting their unionization so they can have...
What about civic facilities?
Civic facilities, sir, I think it leads to slum proliferation, especially in outside the city.
So should the states where migrant labor is coming take care of these civic requirements also?
Yes, sir. State should take care of.
Okay. Let's shift to your marine engineering and your marine knowledge. So let's talk about India's marine economy. Tell me 3 factors which contribute to the India.
From marine sector, sir. So exports, more than 90% of India's resources, I'm not able
Marine resources.
Marine resources. So fishing sector is there. At that one. We also have oil exploration, Mumbai High, that is also there. And one more thing, sir. Government is also focusing on harvesting resources, especially polymetallic nodules. They have also potential for economy.
Good. How is Andaman and Nicobar Islands so strategic and for India?
Sir, Andaman Nicobar is often said to be a permanent aircraft carrier for India because of its proximity to Malacca Strait. That is an important strait where a vast number of trade happens. So it will serve our strategic interest there. So it is very important for us.
Does Andaman and Nicobar Island give India some extra economic zone?
Sir, if transshipment hub is developed there, then it can serve as
but on the, like we have the economic zone all around our coastline.
Yes, sir.
So with Andaman Nicobar Islands as a land, does it give an extra economic zone to India?
Yes, sir, it will give extra economic zone.
Is that an advantage?
Yes, it is an advantage.
All right. My last question: Saudi Arabia and Iran are on way to become friends. They're
Yes,
already. How is India affected? How should India take it? As a good for India, not so good for India, bad for India, and why?
Sir, it is a positive sign that there are regional efforts happening for making peace in the region. But if we look from strategic perspective, then it also indicates the growing influence of China in that region. So it might be a sphere of competition in coming times regarding that sector with China.
No, but how was India concerned with peace in that region?
So
Directly.
India's connectivity projects are there, especially with the Central Asian, which goes through that area. So that's why it is very important.
You think our relations with Iran will improve?
Yes, sir, I think it will improve.
Why?
Because India's growing diplomatic stature and also in the upcoming times, India's economic potential.
No, there's something more. India has had some not so good relations with Iran.
Sir, it is basically a result of Iran's complicated relationship with the USA, which hampers our relationship with Iran.
No, with this signing of the deal, signing of friendship agreement or treaty, whatever. This particular event I'm speaking about.
Sir, I'm not able to.
No. Okay, doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
So, Vishwa, I pass on to our member.
Thank you, sir.
Vishwa,
Yes, sir.
you see, only few days back, Supreme Court has given some ruling, not exactly ruling,
Yes, sir.
they have had some observations on same-sex marriage. In light of those observations, just analyze this particular issue of a same-sex marriage and come out with what are the implications of it.
Sir, it is a very progressive step the Supreme Court has indicated to take regarding giving the same homosexual couples their right to marry and be with someone they like. But overall, it also poses a challenges for the societal acceptance, which is not up to that mark we see. So, in the upcoming times, we can say that we can accept that thing.
What are the implications?
Implications will be, sir, we have to reform various laws, which are basically on the lines of a marriage between male and female. So these are the implications.
Do you think such reforms or such laws should come before the society demands it, or only when it evolves in society, then you make a law?
The law should be implemented when there is a need. For example, if the society is needed to nudge towards a certain direction, then there is a need that law should be made. If we have also witnessed that in how Supreme Court abolished Section 377. So law can work in both ways, sir.
Okay. Another thing which people are talking about is the remote voting.
Yes, sir.
That people who are not at their place of voting, they also should be permitted to vote from the distance.
Yes, sir.
What do you say about it?
Sir, it should be done because migration is a very important element of our economy. It will give the voters chance to vote from their places where they have occupation.
What are pros and cons of it?
So pros will be there. They have voting rights. People will be able to participate more in their politics, which is happening in the states. Plus, the state government will also coordinate with the destination state where the migrants are moving for better implementation of policies, so that they can have a positive effect on migrants. The cons will be there, sir. I don't see any cons.
Do you think any authenticity issue will be there? There's who has voted?
It can be there, but it can be curbed, sir. I believe authenticity issue. It's not a major challenge.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You are interested in listening old songs of Kishore Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Why Kishore Kumar? Why not Manoj? What is that? Mukesh.
Mukesh and Mohammad Rafi, sir.
No, Mukesh.
Mukesh. Sir, Kishore Kumar has a very diverse singing. We can say he can also sing song in sad. He can also sing song in a happy mood. if you listen to his songs, then you can imagine how he's reacting by singing. So I can say that Mukesh has not that much diversity as compared to.
Perhaps adaptability also is a thing. He can adapt to many.
Yes, sir. He can adapt
to many heroes.
Yes, yes, sir. Kishore Kumar was very much talented without any training for singing. So
Which particular song you like most?
Sir, there is one song from Yarana movie, Chukar Mere Man Ko. Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Good. Thank you.
Yes,
there are two concepts. One is parliamentary sovereignty and constitutional sovereignty.
Yes,
but the concept of constitutional sovereignty is a misnomer because constitution is ultimately created by parliament.
yes, sir.
How do you see this?
Sir, parliamentary sovereignty and constitutional sovereignty can be seen. If I may give an example, then
What is sovereignty? Since you are a student of political science,
yes, sir.
your optional subject, what does sovereignty means?
So sovereignty means basically a state can conduct its affair upon its merits without any external influence or pressure. So that is sovereignty broadly, sir.
In strict sense, sovereignty means the supreme power, where the supreme power resides. In India, where it resides?
Sir, it resides with the people in India.
People,
Yes, sir.
not the constitution.
Sir, constitution reflects the will of people. So we can say that constitution is also sovereign, sir.
What is John Locke's contribution to political thought?
So John Locke basically given the concept of civil government, limited government.
Social contract. What is social contract?
Social contract basically reflects how the people, if I can explain, it represents the transition from state of war to the state of society.
He changed what Hobbes said, or he further improvised it.
Sir, he differed from Hobbes basically in belief in human nature. Hobbes believed that humans are fearful by nature. But Locke believed that human can cooperate broadly. So,
What is Rousseau's contribution?
Sir,
What he means by social engineering?
So, sir, I'm not able to.
Have you heard the word social engineering?
Social engineering, I broadly understand, sir, but I'm not able to recollect what Rousseau said also.
Recently, the Supreme Court has dismissed Union of India's petition, curative petition,
Yes, sir.
in Bhopal case for enhancement of compensation. On what ground it reject? It's a legitimate demand. Ultimately, Union of India has filed it.
Yes, sir.
It is the settlement was entered into by Union of India. Now they want to reopen. What is the problem?
So, Supreme Court said that it has been a long time since that issue has been there.
But new facts have come. Therefore, there is a need.
Sir, I'm not able to, I'm not fully aware about the cases of
The curative petition.
Yes, sir.
What is advance directive?
I'm not able to.
Recently,
Yes, sir.
some changes have been made in the living will.
Sir, I'm not aware. Yes, sir.
What is checkbook diplomacy?
So, checkbook diplomacy basically refers to a country use of its economic grants and loans for advancing its interests.
How it originated?
Sir, it originated, it has a long origin. Basically, every country does that, sir. But,
What is the genesis of this?
sir, China is associated with checkbook.
China only expanded it.
Yes, sir.
It is believed that it started from Germany and Japan.
Yes, sir. As I said, every country uses it. Even USA has used it earlier in Marshall Plan after World War. So every country has the potential to use it. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can you tell me, Vishwa, which are smart cities in Bihar?
Sir, Patna is one. Sir, I'm not able to.
Now, in Patna, have you seen some changes on the ground as a result of its being included in smart city mission?
Sir, CCTV cameras have been installed.
There is one. Okay.
Yes, sir. And traffic coordination centers have also been established.
The smart trafficking.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There is also one there. Yes, sir. In flood prevention, there is also government step for using digital solutions. Yes, sir.
You know, the forecast kind of thing.
Yes, sir. And urban flooding also happens due to yes, sir, sewage problems. Yes.
Can you tell me the role of oceans in climate change mitigation? role of oceans?
Mitigation, sir.
Yeah, climate change mitigation.
So it is very important to preserve climate change. Mitigation, I can see mangroves are there, sir.
Mangroves one.
Mangroves are there.
Apart from that,
Icebergs is also there, which are melting at a fast rate. That is also there. Pollutions are also happening. Mitigation. Yes.
today only I read one news, Vishwa, that US Senate has passed a resolution to grant recognition to McMahon Line.
So, today, sir.
Yeah, today it was the news. So, are you aware of what is McMahon Line? And
Sir, it is between India and China.
China.
Yes, sir.
So, getting recognition from US Senate, what is the significance of it?
Sir, I'm not particularly aware of the particulars of that development right now. Today, sir.
Now, are you aware that Australian Prime Minister was here last week, and one, I think, university, foreign university, Deccan University, now they have agreed to establish one campus here.
Yes, sir.
And even UGC has now opened kind of gates for establishing foreign university campuses in India.
Yes, sir.
So my question is, Vishwa, that how, vis-a-vis going abroad for higher education by Indian students and establishing foreign university campuses, where do you see the advantage?
Sir, advantage in terms of...
in terms of in terms of better education, in terms of saving foreign currency, in terms of checking brain drain.
Yes, sir. Sir, it will be a good step for our country if foreign universities come and set up campuses there. It will lead to reduction in brain drain, especially as you talked, sir. If we have also witnessed how during Russian-Ukraine war, our students were stranded there, which became a major issue, especially regarding the coordination of curriculum and what will be the future prospects of their education. It will also lead to reduction in forex, which are we sending abroad for education. So it will also reason. Plus, it will also result into competition between our own universities and their universities, which will be a good thing.
And my last question, Vishwa, can you tell me something about tourism in Bihar?
So tourism in Bihar has a very good potential, especially Buddhist circuits are there, especially being a center of Jain religion and Buddhist religion, and also being an ancient state. So Bihar is a very vast tourism.
What about the current infrastructure, tourism infrastructure?
Sir, there are various projects developing Buddhist circuits, and I'm not able to specifically recall the schemes which are there. Sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir. So, Vishwa,
Yes, sir.
which is the best science fiction movie you have ever watched, and what was it about?
Sir, best science fiction movie I watched was Matrix. It was there. It was basically how AI has in the future dominated humans and make them live in the imaginary world, which is...
So, do you think, is it a possibility?
Is it a possibility, but not in that sense, sir, because we are also witnessing the rise of metaverse, virtual reality, which gives us opportunity to be part of that world. But it will be good.
Okay. You also like listening to old songs of Kishore Kumar.
Yes.
So, I would like to have your opinion on remaking of old songs.
Yes, sir.
So, what's your take on that?
Sir, remaking of... I believe, sir, it should happen because people will become more aware of how deep our songs were then. But it should not overall change the fundamental characteristic of that song, which is there.
Okay. And what's your take on renaming of cities?
It is a good thing, especially how our culture was there, which is associated with that city. But it should not be done for political purposes.
Okay. The central agencies like ED and CBI are in question. There is a question mark over their autonomy and their conduct. What's your take on that?
Sir, I believe if the facts of the case are genuine, and there is a belief that there are some mishappenings are there. So the investigative agencies should do their work, but it should also result into conviction rate, which can boost their image.
Okay. What do you understand by zero budget natural farming, and can you highlight the importance or need of it?
So zero budget natural farming basically involves the uses of natural methods and inputs rather than chemicals. It has a very good potential in India. If we see, we are among the top consumers of fertilizers, and also there are side effects on the land and environment of that.
Okay, so Vishwa, I would like to know, why do you wish to join civil services?
Sir, I want to join civil service because I believe that it can provide me a diverse area to work, right from the ground level to the policy implementation, in which I can generally feel that I will be satisfied by helping the people.
Okay, and given a choice, which district would you like to be posted?
Sir, I would like to be posted in my district Patna, because I have seen that city very closely.
Okay, so as a DM of Patna, what will be your priority areas?
Sir, my priority areas will be first land encroachment, which is there. Second, my priority area will be garbage, which is also a very big issue. And third, my priority area will be sewage, which generally overfloods in the monsoon season. So these are all the
Okay. Would you like the situation of law and order to be tackled in Bihar in the same way as it is done in Uttar Pradesh?
No, sir, I don't believe that the same manner should be adopted in Bihar.
Why so? Give reasons.
Sir, because the specifics of the state is different from Uttar Pradesh. It has own challenges, so which are not seen in UP.
Thank you, Vishwa. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Vishwa, anything which we may not have covered during our interview from your DAF? If yes, then I can ask the last.
No, sir, I think that everything
Been done. So thank you, Vishwa. We close our interview. You may proceed to the waiting room. We'll call you again.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Come, Vishwa. Please come. So Vishwa, we would like to hear from you first. How you think you have done today?
Sir, I think I have to revise some basic facts which are there. In that area I lacked.
Mm-hmm.
And also regarding more preparation for my state.
About your state. And so Vishwa, you are a very good personality. But in your personality, we are seeing some things which need improvement.
Yes, sir. Sir, can I?
Ha, please.
Thank you, sir.
First is, it's a very open discussion. Vishwa, you are very bright. You are very bright, and I can visualize you as a civil servant doing extremely well in civil services, whether it is IAS. But when you face this interview, you have to be slightly different from what you were today. Right? Number one is that, your entire interview was like, you are giving interview to a media person.
Yes.
Like अंबानी बैठे हुए हैं या कोई हिंदुस्तान के मिनिस्टर फिर भी थोड़े बहुत हंस के और इधर उधर कुछ बातें कर लेते हैं एंड यू आर जस्ट क्वेश्चन पूछा मीडिया इंटरव्यू जितना वो पूछते उससे ज़्यादा नहीं बोलना है ना ज़्यादा बोलोगे तो फंस जाओगे एंड बड़ा कर्ट सा आई डोंट नो अबाउट इट आगे बढ़िए नेक्स्ट आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट
Yes, yes.
ये तुम्हारा पता नहीं इनबिल्ट है या क्या आज मूड तुम्हारा ठीक नहीं था मुझे पता नहीं तो इसको थोड़ा बदलना पड़ेगा विश्व है ना तुम छोटे भी हो थोड़े उम्र से है ना उसका भी असर होता है सो यू हैव टू लुक वेरी प्लीजिंग एंड नॉट सो सीरियस एंड योर कम्युनिकेशन स्पेशली will define your personality. The way you are communicating. I'm not talking of knowledge. You had lots of no's also. Even the marine thing, your flow was lacking. You would come out with something, sufficing. And then, you're prompted and then, sir, nodules and deep sea mining and then oil exploration. Now, for a marine, engineer, and that too with the background. Even to a commoner, if I ask you how is marine economy helping India in its economy, overall economy, so say, sir, we have this. Very easy for anyone to. You did not have good grasp over it, calls your knowledge in question. I'm just giving one example. So you have also acknowledged that in some areas you were not very well versed with, but some of the answers that you gave were to the point, very correct and very rightly. You mentioned maybe about 30-40% of the question. But again, the way they were communicated, they were single liners, and it lacked content. The honorable member asked you about Bihar tourism. You start immediately, I am very confident. Bihar tourism, the moment the question ended, you started. But you started and then you didn't know anything more other than Buddhist tourism. And again, when he asked you what are the other things, something schemes and all, you could only think of Buddhist tourism. So what was the hurry to start the question so fast? Why could you not pause and think and then come out with some more things? Does Bihar has only Buddhist tourism? I'm just saying. I'm just giving you an example that you were so fast in reacting that, you were sure that, an answer, question, answer, look at my. Your promptness in answering spoiled your quality. And midway after some time, you were repeating things. So, because content was not there. So, knowledge comes there, right? And the approach to answer, you were too quick to answer immediately. Even if it had content or not. You were even too quick to answer no. Sorry, sir, I won't be able. Categorical. That's why I said, media type. जो नहीं पता वो नहीं पता, जो पता है वो एक लाइनर बोल के और चुप हो जाना, ये थोड़ा नहीं चल पाएगा वहाँ पे.
So this is my second interview.
हाँ, second interview. So why do you want to mention this?
So I felt that I have not prepared that much.
अच्छा, मॉक इंटरव्यू सेकंड है. अच्छा, मुझे लगा आप कह रहे यूपीएससी का सेकंड है. यूपीएससी का पहला है. तो इसीलिए तुम्हें सिखा रहे हैं विश्वा, तुम्हें इसीलिए यहाँ बैठ के हम केवल तुम्हें कह दें कि हाँ तुम्हें इतने नंबर दिए और जाओ. वी वुड इवन आस्क यू कि आपको कोई क्वेश्चंस पूछने हैं, बिकॉज वी डोंट वांट टू मिस अ वेरी ग्रेट ब्राइट चांस ऑफ योर गेटिंग इनटू सिविल सर्विस. यू आर सो ब्राइट. थोड़ा सा चैनलाइज करता है ना. These are some of the points. More we'll discuss. Let's hear other members also.
Vishwa, you see, your body build otherwise is very impressive. And you will walk in some corridor, people will say that, okay, here is some senior officer going. Understand? You have that makeup. But what is lacking, I have written down here. You see, overall, I found that you appear to be frowning. They may be slightly exaggerated, but then this is the personality which I have worked out. And even hobby did not light up your face. I mentioned about Kishore Kumar. It didn't light up your face. Appeared as if it is one of those questions we have to tackle. So at least hobbies, and that also such a melodious person, Kishore Kumar, one should light up entirely. So that didn't happen. Then I have written for you that be happy and be lively, and you must present a pleasant face to the board. You must look pleasant, okay? And overall you should be participative in approach. The conversation, you should be in participative mode, not that you shoot a question, I have a reverse volley. वो नहीं है, ठीक है. ऐसा करेंगे तो मतलब बहुत बढ़िया हो जाएगा. आप थोड़ा सा प्लेजेंट होके बैठिए, खुश होके बैठिए, ऐसा लगे कि मैं यहाँ बैठा हुआ हूँ नंबर लेने के लिए. आप मेरे से क्या पूछिएगा, मैं बिल्कुल तैयार बैठा हुआ हूँ, और जो आप पूछिएगा उसको मैं डिटेल तक बताऊंगा जब तक आप मना नहीं करेंगे. हालांकि ये एक्चुअली नहीं होता है, आप 2-3 सेंटेंस बोल के रुकना पड़ता है, ठीक है. जैसे रिमोट वोटिंग के लिए पूछा, इट्स ए इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट. But then from your side, no much reply was forthcoming. You did explain, but then it appeared as if you wished to end the conversation. That should not be. From your side, it should appear that you are having immense knowledge and you are willing to give. That willingness to give was absent. Okay? So that you change. Thank you.
यही ऑब्जर्वेशन है कि सरसरी तौर से आंसर है आपके, उसको थोड़ा एलोबरेट करना पड़ेगा, पॉइंट वाइज बोलो, डेटा फैक्ट एनालिसिस करोगे तो अच्छा हो जाएगा आंसर, और कुछ नहीं. ऑल द बेस्ट.
Well, Vishwa, your personality, your confidence, they are very strong points. But I also noticed some kind of lack of warmth. So it was a kind of very cold conversation. So bring more warmth, be more engaged with the board. And that would be possible by a little bit of smiling. Be more, bring more positivity in your overall. Of course, you have to be very thorough on your depth. Your Bihar thing, everything about Bihar. 3-4 points on each and every issue. I think you won't have more than 50 questions on Bihar. So prepare 3-4 liners, one by one. Whatever you would like to speak there, frame your answers accordingly. About the tourism, about smart city mission, everything about Bihar with the prohibition policy, agriculture in Bihar, and then flood problem. I mean, if you start writing questions, I'm sure you will exhaust after 2-3 dozen questions. So think all possible questions and then frame in writing those answers, or in your mind, whatever, depending upon, so that you are ready with answers for each and everything relating to your DAF. All the best.
सो विश्व, जनरली हम कैंडिडेट्स को रिकमेंड करते हैं कि वो हर एक आंसर पे 6 पॉइंट बोलते हैं, 6 की जगह 3 बोले. मैं आपको रिवर्स रिकमेंड करूंगा, आप 1 पॉइंट बोल रहे हो, आप 4 पे ले जाओ, क्योंकि आपकी हैबिट नहीं है. तो 4 पे ले जाओगे तो एटलीस्ट आप 3 पॉइंट बोल पाओगे और वहीं पे आपके सारी प्रॉब्लम का सोल्यूशन निकल जाएगा. तो आप जो 3 पॉइंट बोलोगे, फर्स्टली, सेकेंडली, थर्डली, तो आंसर्स आएंगे, पार्टिसिपेटिव अपने आप लगोगे. ठीक है. प्लस मैं भी जनरली हंसता नहीं हूं, पर आपको हंसाने के लिए मैं स्माइल कर रहा था, फिर भी आपके स्माइल नहीं आई है. तो कोशिश कीजिए. अब अच्छी लग रही है, अब बहुत अच्छी लग रही है. तो ये विश्व हमें देखना है इंटरव्यू में. बस इन पे थोड़ा सा ध्यान दीजिए आप, है ना. 10 दिन है, कंटेंट तो आप कर लोगे, लेकिन कंटेंट करके भी बोल नहीं पाओगे. इशू वो है. तो पहली बात है, कंटेंट करना है तैयार, दूसरा उसको बोलना है. अगर आप बोलोगे ही नहीं, आप अपने आप को मौका नहीं दे रहे, तो एटलीस्ट मौका तो देना पड़ेगा. तो 3 या 4 पॉइंट तो बोलने ही हर पॉइंट पे. कॉन्शियसली ये ट्राई कीजिए. ठीक है. ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Vishwa, now you ask questions if you wish. We have given you 60% today.
165 marks.
So, you are a 70 plus material. I'm telling you. And unless you get this, is your first attempt in UPSC?
Third attempt.
Means twice.
Interview first.
So, it's a very rare opportunity you have got after third attempt. You cannot miss that. And you'll be going for the first time. So, you have done mains good, that's why you're in the interview this time. So, you have to sort of ice it with good marks, right? So, you are basically, if with all these things that we discussed, 100% we would have given you 72%. Content and the way they were communicated and the overall persona that you projected. That is all to sum up. So, if you have any questions, please let us know.
No, sir, I think these are, I need to.
So, how did your first mock interview go?
So they also said something on similar lines. I need to more interactive and show more expressions. I think these are the.
Yeah. I think that is it your part of your personality?
Sir, I think that because of the preparation, I have been isolated from social life. So that's
You're still in the hostel or somewhere?
No, sir, I'm living in Lakshmi Nagar.
With some friends?
No, sir, alone, sir.
Alone.
Yes, sir.
So, आपका interview कब है?
So 27.
27th. So how would you build this?
So by talking
You
with,
can't socialize to now, because this is the time when you have to prepare.
yes sir. So I think I will try to speak as you said.
You have friends somewhere?
Yes sir.
Yeah.
I have friends.
Where do you take your lunch and dinner? Alone?
So in the mess
Mess of?
hostel which I live,
Which hostel is it?
OPT tower.
Achha,
boys'
somewhere.
Private.
Yes.
No, but you have some people with whom you can interact.
Yes
Right?
sir. I have few people.
Do that.
Yes sir.
Rest of the time you can study, lunch and dinner, have together, go out somewhere.
Yes.
It will come in your personality, even if you have 10 days. Interact with your family, your parents, whoever you like, your friends, talk to them. है ना? थोड़ा सा seriousness कम होगी उससे. It happens. It happens when children live alone. But you can't miss this opportunity. अब हंसी के किशोर कुमार के हंसने वाले गाने सुनो हैं?
Smile is a good.
हाँ?
Yes sir.
ठीक है, you will do it. You will do very well.
Start with the smile. Start with smile. Other things will automatically.
And look at when the member is asking a question and look at him smilingly. तो आपको बीच में ये भी नहीं सोचना पड़ेगा कि मैं स्माइल कब करूं, किशोर कुमार के क्वेश्चन पे करूं या किसी और पे करूं. यही सोचते रहोगे आप, तो आप क्वेश्चन कैसे आंसर. So while I am asking the next question, you can look at me smilingly, as if you are waiting for the question very impatiently, and you are looking forward to it, instead of dreading. And your reply should have a pause. It is looking too cryptic, telegraphic. Either jawab, either question khatam hua, sir, that's all. So that is, I don't know that question. I can't answer that today. ठीक है ना?
Yes sir.
मैं आपको इसलिए प्रोवोक कर रहे हैं कि you will improve on it. All right?
Chance है, अच्छा होने.
So all the best, Vishwa.
बढ़िया number है.